Hello and welcome to Borno Restoration, the program where we bring you updates on developmental efforts of the Zulum administration in Borno State. I am Jessie Tafida. In times of crisis and recovery, information is more than just news. It is a tool for shaping perception, building public trust, and reinforcing social cohesion. In Borno State, where years of insurgency have left deep scars and complex challenges, effective communication is essential for governance, healing, and progress. This will be a focus on the program today. But before that, let's take a look at what is happening in the state on Borno today. For over a decade, Borno State's education system was under attack. According to the State Universal Basic Education, a total of 500 public schools were attacked and destroyed in the last 12 years. But the Zulum administration came in with a 10-pact development agenda, which revamping the education sector is part of it. Now in the second year of his second term, education remains a top priority, with 21 new projects completed across 23 local government areas. They include construction of 6 new mega schools, equipping of schools with ICT facilities, spent about 11 billion naira scholarship to over 32,000 students, and construction of housing estate for teachers.
Our administration has placed a strong emphasis on technical and vocational education and training TVET to address the challenges posed by the large number of out-of-school youths who have exceeded the conventional school age. To bridge the gap between our educational system and the labor market, ensuring our workforce is aligned with both local and international economic needs. Determined to ensure that every child in Borno State, regardless of their educational background, has access to opportunities that equip them for a brighter future.
It's not just about infrastructure. The government is also focused on the welfare of those who shape the young minds.
Borno State has consistently allocated a sizable amount in its annual budget to education, a clear demonstration of prioritizing the human capital development as a driver of progress as enshrined in our 25 years development plan. We have rebuilt schools, enrolled thousands of out-of-school children, provided scholastic materials, trained teachers, contributing significantly to our current education recovery and development.
At the grassroots, teachers are beginning to feel the difference.
For me, I am receiving minimum wage. I am on grade level 12, earning about 99,300 and something. But some of us, as a result of one thing or the other, as per the last competent test that took place about 2-3 years back.
From ashes to accolades, Borno's education story is fast evolving. And with the pace, scale, and consistency of the Zulum administration's interventions, the state may just be on its way to becoming Nigeria's next educational hub. This is the new face of Maiduguri. A city once defined by conflict is now turning heads and turning a new page. Streets that were once dusty and deserted are now bustling with movement, development, and hope. Under Governor Babagana Zulum, Maiduguri is changing not just in infrastructure, but in spirit. In just 2 years into his second term, the governor has delivered 3 flyovers, modern structures that have reshaped the skyline and decongested some of the city's busiest intersections.
In order to ensure that we retain the image of Maiduguri Metropolitan, we need to, upgrade the status of Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. Most importantly, Maiduguri is one of the states most densely populated state in the northeast, and it still remains the capital of Borno State. And then the population is increasing rapidly.
The work hasn't stopped there. At Post Office Junction, one of Maiduguri's most iconic landmarks, a foot flyover is under construction. Side by side, roadworks, housing estate, and drainage networks are springing up across the city.
Infrastructure development is one of the key pillars in the 10-pact agenda of the Zulum's administration. The governor understood that improved infrastructure is very key in making environment conducive for businesses and other activities to thrive.
Zulum has transformed not only Borno or not only Maiduguri into a small London, but he has transformed the whole of the state into USA.
Governor Zulum has made it clear this is not about politics, but purpose, a mission to rebuild communities, restore dignity, and make Borno greater than it has ever been. As the city rebuilds, the people are beginning to dream again of peace, opportunity, and future filled with hope. We are in Kalerizanari, one of Maiduguri's most densely populated communities. Today, Governor Babagana Zulum is here to flag off a brand new general and orthopedic hospital, a critical step towards improving access to healthcare in this bustling part of the state. It's a bold move aimed at cutting down maternal and infant deaths and ensuring timely medical care when it matters most. According to the governor, the new hospital will offer comprehensive services from maternal care and child immunization to pediatric treatment, helping to ease the burden on families who often travel long distances for basic health care.
Maiduguri has a population of about 3 million with no orthopedic hospital on ground. So we are plug up the construction, and we also plug up construction of another general hospital at the outskirts of Maiduguri, which is also very, very important. All these things, these projects are geared towards improving the standard of living of the people of Borno State. So on this note, I want to commend the people of Borno State. I want to commend the federal government. Before the expiration of the tenure, people will witness many more projects, inshallah.
From healthcare to humanity, the governor's next stop was the Maximum Security Custodial Center in Maiduguri. There he granted a presidential-style pardon to 66 inmates, a gesture of hope and second chances. That was not all. The remaining inmates also received food items and cash support, a message, he says, of inclusiveness and compassion on Democracy Day. And then, it was back to infrastructure. Governor Zulum officially commissioned 6 new roads projects stretching across strategic parts of the state. He says this is just the beginning, promising more life-changing projects before his tenure winds down. From health and justice to road and reform, Democracy Day in Borno came with a message: development, inclusion, and a government determined to leave no one behind. Responsibility of telling the true story of Borno State and its struggles, resilience, and transformation after the devastating Boko Haram insurgency rests in the part of those who manage the information. Behind every government action is a narrative that must be conveyed with clarity, responsibility, and vision. In today's episode, we will bring you the concluding part of the interview I had with the Special Advisor to the Borno State Governor on Media and Strategy, Mr. Dauda Iliya, as we discuss the state of economy and how he is helping to shape the state seen, understood, and heard within and outside Nigeria. Take a listen. Now, the education sector in Borno has been devastated by over a decade-long insurgency, thereby forcing thousands of children to be out of school. But this administration came in with a 10-pact development agenda, which revamping the education sector is part of it. We see mega schools, training of teachers. Talk to us about that.
Yes, like you said, the education, aside from security, is also a priority of Zulum's administration because, the ideology of the insurgency is Western education is forbidden. So he took this upon himself to ensure that he provides access to education, not only in Maiduguri, but in all resettled local government areas. Hardly will you go to any community that have been resettled without getting a school there. So this to ensure that access enrollment is increased, not only enrollment, retention of pupils also witnessed in some of these communities. So I don't have the exact figure of schools, mega schools constructed, but I know that many schools have been constructed from primary, secondary, and also you've seen the first lift and what is ongoing in the Borno State University and other tertiary institutions across the state. So this has also aided in ensuring that the number of out-of-school children is drastically reduced. The last count, the Commissioner of Education mentioned that about 700,000 out-of-school children, this is the figure now the state is having from, I think, over 1 million. So you can see, and more schools, and if you see the nature of the construction of schools, it will also help in ensuring that parents were motivated to send their children to school because of the gigantic nature and how beautifying the school is. And aside from the infrastructure of schools, teachers were also recruited. Last year, in 2024, 4,000 teachers were recruited by the state government, 3,000 under LEA, Local Government Authority, 1,000 under the secondary school board. This to ensure that the gap between the teachers that are retiring and the new ones is also filled because teachers also retire. So, and aside from that, the state government also trained some of the LEA teachers because the aspect of training and capacity building was very key, and that's why the teachers were trained. And after training, those that are able to scale through the examination and the test conducted, their salary scale will also be upgraded. So they will enjoy the new salary scale, which is very unique. The Borno State salary scale is almost equivalent to that of the federal government. So this is an effort to ginger. And also this year, His Excellency captured in the budget that about 500 teachers will also be recruited. This is an effort to ensure that the teacher ratio is also breached. This is part of His Excellency's effort. Aside from constructing schools, teachers will be recruited, and also children are given that opportunity. Public schools, particularly public schools. And he also constructed the high Islamic schools. He promised that each and every local government area will have at least one high Islamic schools. This is to counter the Boko Haram ideology because they use Islam to indoctrinate particularly the younger generation. And that is why His Excellency is constructing these high Islamic schools to counter this negative ideology.
One incident that would forever, leave an indelible mark in the lives of Borno citizens is the September 10th flooding. Talk to us on how in just a few weeks the state government pulled itself through and people continue to pick up the pieces of their lives and continue their, dailies better.
Well, this is an episode that will hardly be forgotten in the lifetime of Borno State. It will go a long way in the history of the state. Like you said, the flooding has devastated different sectors of life. But because of His Excellency, the personality of His Excellency, the donations received is unimaginable because people from different parts of the country visited the state and commiserated with His Excellency over this unfortunate incident, and they have donated their resources. And that's why, upon receiving the donations, His Excellency constituted a committee to ensure that these funds are judiciously utilized. Mapping were conducted in communities affected by this flooding, and the victims were also, their data was also taken, and they were given different kind of support, cash assistance, and other intervention to ensure that it cushioned the impact of the flooding. Right now, as I'm talking to you, aside from the individual assistance that the state government also provided, the infrastructural aspect of it is also because the committee submitted this report, and I think over 5 billion naira remain in the coffers or the account of the committee. So His Excellency directed that they should continue to reconstruct some of the roads devastated by the flooding. What we are still battling with is the aspect of water supply, because the flooding affected the major water network in Maiduguri, which is called the Mother Cat. So it has disrupted water supply in the state. His Excellency is making effort to ensure that the Mother Cat is repaired. But as part of effort to ensure that the scarcity of water supply in the state, cushion the impact of the scarcity, he has directed the Rural and Water Agency, that is RUWASA, to immediately construct boreholes, lower aquifer and middle aquifer boreholes, and also ensure that some of the boreholes are converted into hybrid solarization of the boreholes to ensure that his administration provide potable water. He has continued to make effort to ensure that, particularly Maiduguri Metropolis, some parts are still experiencing the scarcity of water, but his effort is deliberate to ensure that he address the issue of water scarcity and also repair the destroyed Mother Cat, which is the major, like I said, water supply channel to different parts of the metropolis. So people have resumed their livelihood activities in the state. Traders were also supported during the flood disaster. I think like 10 different markets were affected, and some traders were also provided little support. It is not compensation, like His Excellency said, because you cannot compensate traders or people affected by the flood disaster, but it's little support to ensure that they pick up their pieces of livelihood. So yes, the flooding has come, and people of Maiduguri, because of their resilient nature, people of Borno, they have seen insurgency, fire disasters in different areas, and also the flooding. But we have a resilient people that will overcome all the challenges that we've experienced.
Okay. And what legacy is this government wants to leave behind?
Well, the legacy is to have a very strong people that are very strong people with that will continue to earn their means of livelihood. The dependency nature, this is one of the challenges that we've witnessed during the Boko Haram insurgency. People tend to depend on aid, on intervention from different partners or government agencies. But what His Excellency wants to leave is to ensure that Borno is rebuilt back, people become resilient, and also the aspect of livelihood, they're able to earn their means of livelihood independently without any kind of support, and ensure that the state is secured, a very peaceful and secure Borno. This is what His Excellency wants to leave, and also a high level of education and a healthy citizenry, boost the economy through collaboration with neighboring countries, as you recall, I think early this year, His Excellency opened the international cattle market in Banki. This is all in an effort to ensure that trading and commerce is also improved in the state. So, number one is to ensure a secure and peaceful society. Number two, well-literate and enlightened people and a healthy citizenry that can earn their means of livelihood independently.
Finally, what message do you have to the people of Borno State?
Well, my message is to continue to support His Excellency's effort to ensure that he achieves his 10-pact agenda. If there is no support from members of the public, he will not achieve what he's able to achieve now. And he needs that collaboration and support more than ever before, because he's now he has barely 2 years before the end of his administration. So he needs this support from the people. And also to also key into his administration's 10-pact agenda. We went around some of the communities to assess the level of water scarcity. And what will amaze you is some communities, as simple as a tap, government has provided water to those communities, but some unscrupulous members of the community will vandalize some of this infrastructure. And they will continue to rely on government to fix this problem. Some is just a minor problem that maybe 2,000, 3,000 will fix those problems. But unfortunately, they will continue to wait for government to do that. So there is a need for community mobilization, community awareness to ensure that this infrastructure provided to them is their own. It is not Zulum's infrastructure, because they enjoy some of these facilities. Like schools. The last time His Excellency mentioned that one of the schools constructed along Bama Road, the people try to turn the place into where they will park their wheelbarrow and other. So it's so disheartening that government provided some of this infrastructure for your community to benefit. But unfortunately, some people are not so well enlightened to see that this is our own property. It is not government property. It's our community. It's for the community, and we need to protect and ensure that we also support government in its drive to ensure that our community, particularly the younger generation, students benefit. So there's a need for the collaborative effort to ensure that people support Zulum's administration in different aspects of endeavor. And if this collaboration and support, if you're able to give him, to continue to be patient with him, yes, you all know that the economic challenge is not only peculiar to Borno. The demands of people continue to increase because of the economic crunch, but His Excellency is trying his best to ensure that he provides the people of Borno State with all they require in terms of critical needs and other intervention to make sure that the people of Borno live peacefully and very happy. So this is my message to the people, to continue to support the Zulum's administration, and to also, if you are to criticize, do constructive criticism. The government is not immune to criticism. These laws will continue to be wide open to accept all those criticisms, but in a very constructive manner, so that we move our dear state that is recovering from more than 15 years of Boko Haram insurgency. Thank you.
Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Strategy, Mr. Dauda Iliya, thank you for your time on Borno Restoration.
Thank you very much.